they faced Legacy and then Bin Chickens.
Yes, correct.
So the hard work is behind them.
These are the games that you would expect that if they are going to win games, it should be these games.
Yes, that's definitely true. Maybe not this one, but definitely against Bin Chickens, I would say I think that they should be winning that one. But here we go, Legacy. Going to be starting off with well, Slits or J.
I'm quite conflicted. I'm on the Legacy hype train, while at the same time I want Tainted Minds to win so they can be up on the scoreboard higher. So we'll see how it goes. Doesn't matter what we think. I always say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, these two teams going to go head to head. We'll see who can get the better of who right now. Trismal going to get booped off there. So that's a good start from Tainted Minds. Going to at least let them get onto the point and form up where they want to.
Well, it's actually Legacy on the
wrong way.
The wrong way around, Ben. I know.
That's what I get. I saw it, and then I said it, and then I realized, and then
when I was talking about Legacy, and then I saw Slits or J on the roster, I was like, this seems a little bit odd. But anyway, here we go. Legacy, the order has been restored. They're the ones in control of that cap. Carroll Koala on the Widowmaker. Very, very deadly on that hero. Tails is going to be on the far up. Right now, D-Field not really having too much success. Only at 20% of his ult charge. Has not been putting too much damage in.
Oh, Quad J, great self-destruct. Picks up two,
Time to reset.
including the Mercy.
So, another thing to note, Strawbella is playing Diva.
Yeah.
Which means there is a substitution here for Legacy. We've not got Kiki, we've not got Arceus, which means Strawbella's moved from the main healer onto off-tank. Saphira coming in as the main healer.
Does this change your mind now, Jordan? About whether Tainted Minds can win this best of 4?
No.
I think this almost puts these two teams on par.
I don't think so.
All right. Well,
it's obviously it's not ideal for Legacy, but it's not going to be the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. It's going to be tough. Baby Poro fighting it out here up against the Winston. That's a little bit tough, but not needing to pop the Transcendence anytime soon. There we go. Trance on Trance. Everyone in very zen state of mind right now, Jordan. But D-Field going to find Carroll Koala, Baby Poro onto one as well. TM finding the picks right now. Look, there's 4, and they're already up to 50%.
Yeah, very, very messy fight out from both sides. Everyone chucking ultimates in there, one by one. Not necessarily too much coordination. The Transcendences were forced by both Zenyatas, I should say. And for now, Tainted Minds are the ones with control of the capture point. Carroll Koala has gone on to Tracer though, so no more Widow for him. D-Field does have Inversight on. Everyone on Legacy needs to be just a little bit careful here.
You can hear Saphira with the Valkyrie. Slits or J trying to take down Carroll Koala. Tracer v Tracer. Look, there's a few fights that are more annoying than that one, I kind of feel, to be honest. How long did they go for? Who even knows?
Sometimes.
Forever. That's the nature of time, I suppose, right, mate? You can rewind. Carroll Koala finally going to go down to Slits or J. They're trying to recapture the point. Legacy doing what they can, but this is going to hit 99 no matter what for Tainted Minds. The question is, can they swing it across to 100? Slits or J ready to go with a huge pulse bomb. We'll find Cinderella, who, to be fair, was kind of low, but no opportunity to get out of dodge. No opportunity to get that 100% and hit the Primal Rage. And now Baby Pyro under the point with the Trance, doing work. This might be enough for TM.
Might be, but Legacy are still trickling onto that point, and there's not really anyone at the moment that can deal with Tails. Obviously, you'd think it could be D-Field, but the angle that he's got doesn't really allow him to shoot into the air. And Legacy are going to be using that to their advantage. They're still fighting on that point, and that's where they can find the win. No one can deal with the Pharah.
It is tough. It is certainly tough, and as you can see, a little too tough right now for TM to bring that back. But they've still got so much time to work with here. They just need one good fight, Jordan, and that'll get them across the line. Legacy, on the other hand, they're about to have 5 ultimates as Valkyrie is ready. And well, I say that because I see Strawbella, but anyway, it's okay. We'll get there. We will slowly get there.
Now this could be a bit more dangerous for Tails. Needs to be quite careful when he's that high up in the air because D-Field really would like to pick him out of the sky. Not going to be this fight, or even if it is, it really doesn't matter because the fight's already well and truly won by Legacy. And again, this is where they can start to now really put the hurt on Tainted Minds. They get that poke damage out from Tails on far up. And it does also give Carroll Koala a little bit more room to work with as opposed to just having to fight on that point to contest for overtime. He can sort of roam around the map a bit, try and find some more picks. It's a much better scenario for Legacy now, but they still have a lot of time to catch up.
So do you prefer having D-Field here with the Widow or Tails on the Pharah, Jordan?
I definitely think for D-Field, I prefer him on the Widow. As far as one versus the other would go, player preference.
That's a pretty big pick. Trismel going to go down to Tails. Baby Poro picks up one. Going back the other way. Quad J low going to get demected as well. So no real tanks here for TM to work with. We're going to be up to 99-99 in just a second. And it's going to be a matter of who has the most ultimates, who can play this well. Cinderella going to be forced, or at least choosing to pop the Primal Rage right now. Tails up in the air as well, on the point, ready to go. Oh, picks up one Trismel? Yeah, before Slitzel J ends up bringing him straight back down to earth. We're still trying to push through. 99-99 is where we're at. Legacy with the advantage on the point. Jordan looking to capture this back right now. They're going to hold still. Oh, so close. Tainted Minds throwing everything they can to stay. Keep this overtime going, to keep it ticking across so they can capture it back and win it for themselves. I don't know if it's going to be the case, though. Surely Legacy cleans this up.
Yeah, they do indeed. 1-0 to Legacy. It was 99 apiece for quite a long time there, but in the end they are able to come away with round one. Really nice time for Cinderella to be getting the Primal Rage up there, because the fight was not necessarily still in the balance. It really did still look like Legacy was going to come away with the win there, but it was kind of an insurance where he throws out that Primal Rage, just dispatches of the guys on the point, and becomes this big tanky gorilla that no one can really deal with on that point for Tainted Minds. There just wasn't enough players there to chunk through all of that HP. And Legacy, they do come away with the win. Now on to the second point. Tails still going to be hanging on to Farah. D-Field also still hanging on to Widow. And Slitzel J is going to be going on to his own Farah. Ramon Koala also on the Widow. So a bit of a mirror match out. So two Lucios are going to swap back onto Mercy. Expected.
20 seconds until the point unlocks here. Legacy going to go around the left-hand side. We do have Farah onto flat Farah. And Slitzel J going to take damage very early on. Got to really watch out for Tails here. We had a pretty good round last round on the Farah. Potential to do the same again, but this time, 1 for 1. At least damage-wise, everyone's still alive. And firstly, we're going to see Trismel going to go down to Strawbella again, playing on the Diva instead of the support, Jordan. So it's a little bit different for her. We'll see how she goes across the next few maps. It's always different to play an entirely different role, right? So one would expect perfectly capable on the Diva, has shown it so far.
Yeah, you look across the ultimates for Legacy, and you kind of think, okay, where's the difference come from them versus Tainted Minds in that fight? Well, it certainly wasn't between Slitzel J and Tails. Both of them quite equal. Carroll Koala maybe got one more shot in than what D-Field did, but really the difference was the tanks, Strawbella and Cinderella, quite significantly further ahead than Tainted Minds are. So that's where really all that damage was coming from, that advantage comes from, and that's why Legacy is able to get that first cap across. Now the contest here, though, from Tainted Minds. Yeah,
TM going to walk onto the point here, looking for the recapture, but Legacy say, no, thank you. Self-destruct comes through.
In a bubble.
We're going to find someone? No, that's the problem. It's like releasing a germ inside a lab, Jordan. It's not going anywhere. There's too much security. And that's going to be that Winston bubble defending the day, looking after everyone here for Legacy. Keeping them on the point. They really don't need to use that much. Finally, a self-destruct going to come out from Strawbella. By looks things. No. Not going to be the case. Looked like maybe it was going down. She just got picked up in the meantime.
A little unfortunate there for Tails, not being able to get the D-Mac onto Quad J. You could tell he wanted to use that Rocket Barrage, but he knows that he really can't quite get the value out of it that he needs if that Diva is still alive. And well, Quad J got quite low, but he was kept healed up quite nicely by Oxidize. And so Tails can't quite get the Rocket Barrage off. As a result, Tainted Minds do cap the point, but Legacy, they know that they've got so many ultimates available here to recapture with it. They're not too concerned about that one. They also got 53%, so it's not a bad start there at all.
We'll see what TM can do with the Infra site.
Oh,
Unfortunately for them, it hasn't gone so well so far. D-Field going to get chased out by the Winston. Primal Rage coming through, looking to find Tails, needs to find Tails, I would suggest, with Trismel going down to his counterpart as well, and Legacy looking to recapture the point. Tails throws out the barrage. The self-destruct is in, needs to get out of dodge, does so successfully, just again into that Winston bubble. 3 picks now going in the favor of Legacy. They will recapture the point, and it will be 50-50 or thereabouts, 53-53, right on par for both of these teams. Unfortunately, however, for Tainted Minds, Legacy are the team with the point right now, and all these ticks going in their favor. It's going to take a bit of work now for TM to bring this back.
Yeah, a fair bit thrown in there actually by Legacy, but they are still coming up onto some ultimates, and Strawbella hanging on to the self-destruct. That's a good one to stall the point out. Oh, well, goodbye, baby Poro.
Yeah.
It's nice knowing you. Unfortunately, you can't levitate out of that one. That's pretty much the fight won by Legacy. Tainted Minds knows that they need to reset. Slids or Jay, you just need to jump off, mate. Because you only have time for one more push here. This is going to make things a little bit tight for Tainted Minds. Denshon Nyada has got the Transcendence, and Strawbella, like I said already, has still got the Self-Destruct, so some two big Stally ultimates. And in that time, it'll probably buy time for Cinderella to get...
Oh no, Oxidize pops the Valkyrie, Jordan, right as Caramel Koala comes in with the headshot, and that is it. Precisely right.
Oh, Caramel
Legacy going to find the kills. Great work from them. Tainted Minds, look, to be fair, they had a half-decent start in the first round. Went to 99-99. Unfortunately, they weren't able to bring it back. Legacy going to 2-0 here on Lijiang Tower. Good start for them, particularly, as we said, with some substitutions in the team, some stand-ins today. So can make life just that little bit tougher, but I'm sure they practiced all together as this unit as well. So.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing is, like, if you've got a new off-tank, then that kind of throws off Cinderella, not just Strawbella. Then you've got a new support player in there as well. That throws off the support duo.
It's everyone moving, right? It's not just we're swapping one for one. One goes out, one moves across, one feels that. Everyone's in a different role to what they're used to. So that's a really good point. But so far, seems to be working for them.
Well, I don't know what's going on with this Legacy roster right now, because I know Kiki was kind of in there for a moment, but he was playing for Blank Pacific in the last week of Pacific Contenders, I believe, as a sub.
Right.
And then Arceus was kind of in this Legacy roster, but he's only played 1 week. I don't know where he is right now, what's going on, if this is just you know, a regular case of, well, we need a sub because they're not available, or if there's some bigger changes afoot for the Legacy roster. I guess we'll find out as the weeks come. But if this is going to be what we see for the rest of at least this week, which you would assume that it is going to be, then, you know, obviously it is going to throw things a little bit out of whack for Legacy, but the benefit at least is that they've still got their 2 DPS still as their primary DPS. I mean, Cinderella still seems to be having no problems really on Winston. And I mean, obviously we didn't see too much from Strawbella there. Like, to be fair, she's not playing on a regular role. It never makes life easy. But on the same token, we're up against Tainted Minds here for Legacy. So, you know, if this was against, like, Drop Bears or Blank Blue, you're like, okay, well, Legacy's
Well, that's it, yeah.
But against Tainted Minds, you know, you have a little bit more breathing room as Legacy. Because they are the favoured team in this matchup anyway, they can kind of afford to have some of these off rolls.
But you can't afford to lose maps, because they need these maps, right? Because you want to be coming in there. When you think about it, Legacy looking for second or third slot there. They want to be on top of Blank Blue in this top 6 teams, because again, when they go head to head, assuming they make it through to playoffs, it's reverse seeding, right? First place 4th, second place 3rd. So if you can get 2nd seed as opposed to 3rd seed, that's a pretty big deal.
That is a very big deal. Admittedly, though, for Group B, you kind of don't even really know who you're going to be playing right now.
Because Group B is so topsy-turvy right now. You could like pick out of a hat really who the top 4 teams are going to be from probably 5 teams. So. Yeah, it's a real tough one.
And then what order those 4 teams are going to be in as well. It's just so crazy. Right now, like Legacy, they might feel like they've got a better matchup against someone like, for example, Kanga, than they do against one of the other teams. Like, let's say Serenity gets through, they probably well, I'm not saying they necessarily would, but maybe in some theoretical world, they feel like they have a better chance against Kanga than they do against Serenity. But because of X or Y positioning from both sides, they end up versing one team or another. So it's so hard for Legacy. At the end of the day, what they really need to do right now is just try to ensure the best possible position that they can get in Group A.
That's it.
And that, in theory, is going to give them the best likelihood of winning in playoffs.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, Tainted Minds, who, to be fair, if you look at their record across the season, Jordan, what they played 8 maps, make that 9 maps now. They've lost 8. 1-1. So that's not a great score, but they've had some tough games as well. So, look, running into the end of the season, there is opportunity now for them to find a few maps, perhaps, and bring things back towards their side of things. But they need to start here up against Legacy, and to be fair, they need to start on Kings Row.
Yeah, you can't allow Legacy to get off to a start that's 2-0, because at that point, Tainted Minds, there's just too much ahead of them that they're going to need to try and catch up on. So, Tainted Minds starting off on attack here. What are they going to run? D-Field on Junkrat. That's an interesting choice. Don't see that so much on attack. Yeah, I was going to say. He's gone on to the Widowmaker, Slitz or Jay onto Hanzo, so it's pretty standard there for Tainted Minds. Shields up as well at the top here just to keep their snipers quite safe. But there's no corresponding Widowmaker for Legacy. They've gone for more of a tank and spank kind of a lineup.
Yeah, Tail's going to be the one playing sniper here with the Hanzo. So let's see how this works out. Triple tank, but double support, Jordan, is what Legacy are going to be using this time around. And Strawbella once again playing on the Diva, which is even more interesting when we've got a triple tank set up.
Yeah, that's fair enough here, though, for Legacy. Just putting a lot of premium, though, onto Tails. If he can't get picks, if he can't get damage out, then Tainted Minds are definitely going to be lacking damage, especially if Carroll Koala can't charge up his energy. But that's 63%, not too bad.
That's still significant energy here for Carroll Koala, but I think they're kind of struggling for damage right now. Picking up one of those heals is definitely going to help Quad J. Going to force Carroll Koala back as well. Cinderella getting back into the action now, just trying to get in there. You can hear Quad J pushing a little at 80 energy for Quad J. That's pretty impressive. Tails goes down. Saphira picks him back up, potentially by the ponytail. Says, get back into it.
Yeah, the rotations there for Tainted Minds, not so great. Legacy, they knew that they dropped a player, so just a little bit of aggression out from Carroll Koala does keep Tainted Minds' attention diverted or split. And that allows Legacy to get their full roster back here on the point. Tainted Minds didn't really take advantage of that pick that they were able to get. And again, they're going to have to go for another attempt here on the point, 6 versus 6. Difference
Dragon Strike is available, but do we wait? Surely you wait for the
Quad J
combo,
75%, so
yeah,
yes, you
wait.
wait.
So close to being ready. Maybe they won't need it. This would be even more ideal if Tainted Minds can find this point.
But Carroll Koala could swing it here if he gets his Graviton Surge up, and he's going to be able to do that.
He's going to throw it through, Jordan. There's the Dragon Strike coming through.
Get on the point.
Almost to 100%. We cap it out at 90%, now 93. D-Field in the back line, just trying to stay alive, throwing out the shots, and in the end, all the ultimate bought them, Jordan, was about 4 seconds.
Yeah, not worth it at all there for Legacy. I mean, we were talking about, obviously, Quad J coming up on it, saying maybe he doesn't need it. The real question was whether Legacy was going to throw theirs out, and obviously they did. Carroll Koala, he thought, similarly to I, that there was going to be a chance to swing that fight back if they got their Graviton Surge off first. But there wasn't the damage to follow up on the combo, and we know, of course, that you do need the damage to follow up on the combo. When the Transcendence is there, it's not just enough to throw out the Dragon Strike to get the kills. You need to have, you know, a Reinhardt in there swinging with the hammer or some other form of damage coming behind it. But now, it's looking bad.
On the flip side, an offensive Grav Surge into a Dragon Strike from behind. But as you can see, once again, Jordan, not going to be enough damage for whatever reason. Cinderella will go down. Quad J finds the other tank, well, one of the other tanks, now that there's 3. That's Strawbella. Going to be D-Mexed. It's all up to Carroll Koala right now.
Well, it wasn't enough damage just off the Dragon Strike. There was some coming off the Reinhardt as well, but Legacy, they've managed to salvage that fight, so neither team really getting that Dragon Ball combo off to the best possible result.
Look, Tainted Minds did pretty well on point A. They did well to get across to where they were. They did well to do it in the time that they did. Just need to find a little bit more here in Phase B. Now that they're onto the payload, well, they need to get back onto the payload. It's Carroll Koala almost ready to go once again with the Graviton Surge, Jordan. And you'll see that Tails is ready as well to throw in the Dragon Strike. But Baby Poro, potential here, Jordan, to see the exact same result that we saw the first time around. Here it is, Dragon Strike ready to come through straight down the middle. This time, far more success. The Transcendence is popped by Baby Poro, but it's not going to be enough. Tails finds 4, Strawbella the 5th, and D-Field the only one to stay alive.
Indeed, which is, I mean, nothing too special really for Tainted Minds because he's on Widowmaker, so just sitting at the back anyway.
The only one actually not in the battle.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. But for Legacy, that's a very successful fight, not putting anything really into it apart from obviously the grab combo. We've got Earth Shatter still for Cinderella, Strawbella with the self-destruct, so there's a combo in and of itself. Self-destruct is out, and that's the combo.
Yeah, works pretty well. You can't shield, Jordan, when you're being charged, that's for sure.
And when your Ryan's down, you pretty much can't push off the back of that, even considering Quad J goes down as well. That's better for Legacy, but realistically, that one single pick is enough to stall the time there for Legacy. They've gotten it off the back of one self-destruct. It allows time now for Transcendence to come up. Carroll Koala's back to 54%. They still have this next fight with Earth Shatter.
Cinderella didn't even go down in that fight.
That's right, yeah.
You would have, you know, 50-50 on whether you're going to lose your Rhine. Going to throw out yet another Graviton Surge.
Earth Shatter out from Cinderella doesn't connect, but it does from Trizamel.
Yeah, this is the opportunity that Tainted Minds needs to get this payload moving again. Strawbella's being demeched successfully. You would expect Cinderella to go down, and he will. There's the other tank. That's 3 from 3. As Strawbella picked up both the supports. So with a minute 20 on the clock, Jordan, Tainted Minds needs to sit on this payload all the way through this second phase, and they need to Look, it's going to be at least one more fight coming out from Legacy.
Yeah, but it's going to be a Legacy fight win, I can tell you that much, Ben, because they've got the Dragon Ball combo.
Yeah.
Look at what Tainted Minds has to deal with it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Baby Poro using Transcendence in that last fight means now Legacy should have the freest fight win of their entire lives.
They don't even have a D.Va to right-click with the umbrella and counter it.
The only way this goes wrong for Legacy is if Caramel Koala misses the grab.
Yeah.
Or Tails gets picked early.
Look, that'll do it. Yeah, Tails comes back from Saphira, Jordan. When we're going to throw it out, it's a little bit late, a little bit delayed, but in the end, still going to find a kill. Caramel Koala has gone down as well. Strawbella looking very low. Going to get demeched and then picked up by Splitsaw J. And D-Field, after all of this, ready to go with the barrage should it be needed. So, Legacy, unfortunately, falling in that scenario. Well, was it the pick onto Tails that did it?
It was the pick onto Tails. If he didn't get picked like that, we saw the grab come out, we saw it get a couple of players. Tails was just too late with the Dragon Strike, and that's unfortunately because he gets picked off. Great work from Slidzor J.
Yeah.
Saves that round for Tainted Minds. Now they have a chance of completing the map where they really otherwise shouldn't have.
No, the first minute and a half and the last minute and a half have looked pretty good for Tainted Minds. Everything in between been a little bit less than average, but that's all that matters in the end. Jordan, you just got to get it across the line. 90 seconds to work with. Graviton Surge, along with Rocket Barrage, available here for Tainted Minds. We'll see whether they choose to use them in combination. Slitzor J still a while away from finding his ulti, almost going to go down as well. Pod J pushing through, up at almost 100% energy as well, Jordan. But Cinderella comes back through, finds one, throws out the Earth Shatter, is successful. D-Field, however, throws one through, but Caramel Koala picks him up. See you later, D-Field. Yeah. And Legacy holding strong in a situation where potentially they should not have.
That's why you can't rely on the Rocket Barrage combo with the Graviton Surge, because it's too easy to shut down. With Slitzor J, obviously, if he throws the Dragon Strike out, he doesn't need to sit there for 5 seconds as it gets shot.
Yeah.
But as soon as D-Field throws out the Rocket Barrage, he gets headshot by Caramel Koala. Great work from him. And now you've wasted Graviton Surge as well there, if you're Tainted Minds, which is really, really unfortunate. Now with 25 seconds left on the clock, you've got Azaya that's got no energy and no ultimate available. And life looks a lot more difficult.
Are we ready for Earth Shatter into Dragon Strike? No, we're just going to throw Dragon Strike straight into the middle of the fray. Let's see what happens. Look, that shield's gone down almost already here for Cinderella. Self-destruct coming out on defense from Legacy. Not going to find anyone by the looks of things. Earth Shatter does come through. Cinderella goes down to D-Field. That's a pretty big pick. Tails, though, however, he gets a huge pick of his own. Finds the Reinhardt just with the normal arrows. Finishes the rest of the team off. Throws through the Dragon Strike. It's a 3-on-3. The spawn advantage in favor of Legacy on defense. We're into overtime as well. This is going to be tough right now for TM.
Oh, it's definitely very difficult for them to actually get this point camped up, but they are getting some picks that they need. Cinderella going to try and buy some time. A lot of damage done there by Caramel Koala onto Quad J. That's exactly what he needs to be doing, but really right now, Tainted Minds, they actually might be able to do this if they can knock over Cinderella.
Big pick as well coming out, but Slitzor J, he's found both the tanks now. This actually might be enough. Another Graviton Surge comes through. Cinderella is resurrected, but it's not going to happen. Slitzor J, that's a Macca's play of the game right there, Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have seen that from his perspective, but that was awesome from Slitzor J. He just absolutely cut Legacy apart. There were so many kills coming out from him there, and then he denies the res as well. Fantastic work. That might be the best individual
huge picks.
Little passage of play that we've seen from Slitzor J in Contenders so far.
Finds both the tanks in quick succession, continues on, picks up everyone else. And in the end, Tainted Minds managed to successfully navigate King's Row. Sure, it's in overtime.
In overtime, yeah.
But how many teams have we seen struggle at this final phase? Coming into phase 3, coming around that last corner. It's almost a bridge too far for most of the teams in most of the games we've seen. So, look, Tainted Minds with a real opportunity to find themselves a map here.
Well, that's exactly what they're going to be looking for, Ben. But Legacy, they still have their whole attacking side to play. We've said it so many times. Sure, Tainted Minds, they cap out. That's one half of the story, though, here on King's Row.
Yep.
And Legacy still yet to write their own. What they're going to go for here. Looks like double sniper set up again. Cinderella and Strawbella, they're going to be quite content on the Reinhardt and the D.Va. Don't think we're going to be seeing Strawbella play too much apart from the D.Va today. If we were going to see her play on Zaya, we probably would have seen it already here on King's Row. So I don't think that's really going to be an option or a hero in her pool. In which case, that kind of then does force Caramel Koala onto this Zaya. Brigitte out for Saphira as well. Not going to be sticking, though.
I'm not going to get baited. I'm not going to get baited.
I want to see the Brig. I like Brig.
Yeah, well, then it's essentially... But you don't... Surely you don't run quad tank, what essentially it is with... I don't know. I think you still need the Mercy in there almost.
You do.
Anyway.
It takes the place of a DPS. So it probably wouldn't be Saphira taking it. It'd be Tails or Caramel Koala. In this case, probably Tails, but nonetheless, it's not going to be the choice. Tainted Minds going for the fairly standard Orisa composition. No Junkrat here for Tainted Minds. So a little bit more damage mitigation out of the D.Va as opposed to damage and pick potential out of the Roadhog if Quad J were to pick that. But look at this Caramel Koala. Oh, we've seen this before, Ben. We've seen this before.
Let's see if it works out this time. It was great in Overwatch League, Jordan.
What Caramel Koala's going to do here is swap to Widow. And
surely they know. Surely they know. Even I know this play.
Yeah, they know. They're aware.
It's not secret, guys. I've seen it.
I mean, look, fair enough.
I'm glad they played it. I'm glad they played it. But D-Field is the one that gets the kill.
Well, it was a good try.
It was. Was it worth the try? I'm not sure. It was an interesting try, nonetheless.
That's the kind of thing that's really only going to work once because everybody's seen it now.
Yeah. What you need is an adaptation of that play where they go around the back and you're expecting the Widow, but it's something entirely different.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is because...
Torbjorn.
Yeah.
Torbjorn just built his turret at the gate.
Bastion right there. Picks around the corner. But the Pick's going the way of Legacy now on attack, Jordan. And they should be able to pick up this point. Look.
Yeah. I mean, even though that strategy doesn't initially work, it kind of does, even when Caramel Koala comes back off the respawn, because he's still holding another angle. He's still a threat that Tainted Minds have to deal with, and so they're looking in one direction and then they're looking in another, and if D-Field doesn't get the pick onto Caramel Koala, there's just so many angles to hold, and they make it work anyway.
It's easier to do it that way, Jordan, than the other way, right? Because that's the one that's playing the distance. It's much safer to put in 5 players around the back than try and get your Widow around the back safely.
Yeah.
And if your Widow does get picked off, then you've literally only got to run 5 meters, or not even run, hook 5 meters.
Hook yourself up.
Right? So it's it definitely makes sense if you're trying to play from both angles. And look, to be fair, it worked in the end, just not the first time around. So it is what it is, I suppose. But now, Legacy pushing forward on the payload. Cinderella holding strong. Ryan versus Ryan. Well, they're going to throw out the Dragon Strike. I don't know if it's going to be successful. Great little Earthshatter as well coming out from Legacy.
Look at the positioning of Caramel Koala right now. He's around the back. He's actually getting chased down by Oxidize. That's a kill for the Battle Mercy, but still the rest of the fight is going the way of Legacy. Tails and Strawbella picking up a killer piece. Tails is having a phenomenal game on Hanzo as well. Slitzel J going a little bit missing in that fight. Was fantastic toward the end of Tainted Minds' attacking side, but so far we really haven't seen much out from him here on the defense.
Yeah.
And Legacy are making incredible time right now. They're going to come into the third phase with 5 minutes or more.
TM did well to finish, but Legacy are just speeding through his second phase, Jordan. Dragon Strike comes out on defense from TM. Doesn't look like it's going to find anyone, but does allow Quad J to find the Reinhardt. Quad J almost going to go down, demeched there by Strawbella. Earthshatter comes through. Picks are coming potentially in the way here of TM if they get that spawn advantage. Maybe it's a little bit closer in this scenario, however.
Dench is going nuts, man.
He is finding some pretty dirty picks here on the Zenyatta.
Oh, look at this. Come on.
Oh, find the Mercy.
Find anyone. Baby Porro's a one-shot. Not quite going to be able to connect the damage across, but Caramel Koala does finish off Oxidize. Dench is still going ham around the back. When you've got the infra sight on, you might as well turn Dench into a stealthy ninja assassin because no one can hear him.
Just floats around. No footsteps at all, Jordan. On his tiptoes, except not. Look at this. The second phase completed, 4 and a bit on the clock now for Legacy. TM, that was almost a good hold at the death knell there of the second phase, but unfortunately, it did not in the end go in their favor. And if you take a look at the ultimates, well, right now, Legacy definitely with the advantage. Weather Tails throws out the Dragon Strike without any sort of support. We'll see how that goes.
There's nothing to combo with.
There is no, there is potentially, I guess, an Earthshatter. That's all you can wait for. But look, in this case, Tainted Minds, unfortunately for them, getting picks are not going in their favor. Legacy doing pretty well here. They're finding pick after pick. The payload continues to move forward. For all the fighting we're doing, the payload isn't really stopping, Jordan. It continues to move, and if you're attacking Look, you really can't ask for much more than that.
Oh, look, the healers have been completely forced out as well by this infra site. They can't get on that point at all. They're so scared of Caramel Koala, and nobody gets on the point, Ben. They were hiding in spawn away from the infra site. Goodness me.
Well, it's 3-3, but it's not very much time. Zero time, 3.5.
It's drawable for Tainted Minds.
What do you even do from here? Hope for the best.
You've got a full hold on first.
You can't see, but I'm circling the bastion with my pen on the screen.
Yeah, but that's Legacy, so...
I just want to see it, man. I just want to see it played. Is that just the reverse? Just what we just saw, but instead of playing Widow, instead of the Widow being the surprise from behind, it's Bastion.
I don't think it's going to happen, Ben.
I want to see it.
Unfortunately.
But I want to see it.
Well, you can't have everything you want.
It's true.
You get to cast with Elfishguy. What more could you really want?
Oh, I could name about 1,000 things I'd like more than casting. No, it's okay. This is fun. I enjoy Contenders. You're a good guy, Elfishguy. It's okay.
Thanks.
It's okay.
I appreciate that.
It's okay. Even if you're a goose. No. Look, Contender Season 2, there's been some good games. There's been some games that are less close. But Group B's one heck of a group.
Yep.
That is to be sure. Tomorrow's going to be an absolute ripper.
A rip snorter.
Rip snorter. A cracker.
A cracker. Crikey.
Indeed.
Just bring out all the Aussie colloquialisms.
3 minutes, 19 seconds here for Legacy to get onto the point and to capture 33%. Really not that much work required, but we'll see what team can do on defense. They're going to play essentially the same thing we saw before, Jordan. It's going to be Orisa and Diva.
Yep.
Just 2 tanks, no hog.
Caramel Koala's with them this time, though, and he is playing Zaya. So, Legacy, they're going to wrap around the back and look for the high ground, perhaps.
Well,
Cinderella split himself.
Already gone down to Towers as well, Jordan.
Some miscommunication there for Legacy.
Yeah. Everyone's got to go the same way, friends, for this to work. But Tails is in not a bad position. Oh,
well,
as I say that, maybe I'm entirely wrong. D-Field really did have his number this time around. Again, they're only looking for 1/3, so Tainted Minds have to fight on the point if they're going to find it all. And that's, I guess, the benefit of that Orisa shield to allow them to do that. You just hit E, Jordan, and there's just all these hit points right in front of you that no one can shoot through. So very useful, to be perfectly fair. And we're a minute through right now, and they're holding strong.
Well, Tainted Minds, for some reason, are not chasing down Caramel Koala. Now they go for him. Tails is there with him as well. There's going to be a bubble for Tails.
Yeah.
Tainted Minds have not been fast enough in killing these two players. They really needed to do that a lot quicker, and they haven't even managed to do it at all. And now they're completely split.
Yep, they've got to fight both flanks right now, which makes life all tougher than it was before. Dent ready to go as well with Transcendence. This might be enough. This probably will be enough for Legacy. And they're successful here on Kings Row, 4 and 3. Tainted Minds did manage to successfully complete the map, but fortunately for them, was not enough in this scenario.
Not enough time, and yeah, Tainted Minds, they really could have held on to that one, but they just, for some reason, decide not to chase down Caramel Koala, not to chase down Tails, and by the time they do, they're too late. They don't even still get those picks. Then they're out of position, and the respawns come off for Legacy, and they just smash them like a hammer and an anvil, and there's bam, they're dead. And that's the point for Legacy.
Look, to be fair, it is tough when you're chasing down a Hanzo that's probably got a Zarya shield on them or something like that.
Needed to be done faster. It had to be done.
Need to chase him down. Well, in the end, not going to be the case. But of all the things here, Jordan, it's probably not that one scenario that has cost Tainted Minds here. Just a little bit slow, maybe through the middle part of their attacking phase. They took a lot of time getting from the start of the second phase through to the end. That sort of first portion, it was kind of tough for them.
It was tough, yeah. Look, Tainted Minds, you want to say, okay, not a bad result for them. Slitz or Jay just absolutely going ham
man,
here.
how good is
How many headshots? That's like 3-4 in a row. I don't even know. But it just wasn't enough. Legacy showing their composure, even despite the fact that they've got to stand in today. Not really looking troubled at all by Tainted Minds. A 2-0 on Lijiang Tower now. A pretty convincing win. I mean, admittedly, yeah, sure, it goes to overtime, but when you look at Legacy, they had 3 minutes and 19 seconds going into that attack in the first overtime. So when you've got that much time, it seems almost impossible to hold on as Tainted Minds.
It's OT, but it's not really OT.
Yeah, that's right.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
like one team gets a chance, the other team doesn't really, so it's like...
Yeah. You can't lose
Just
from
gotta
that point if you're Legacy.
You've got to work just a little bit harder for your win, but really, it was pretty easy for Legacy.
Well, Legacy 2-0 up here in this 4-map contest up against Tainted Minds. We're halfway through the match. We're going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, more Overwatch Contenders Australia.